and welcome to another episode of the Planetary Persuader. I am KozMcKev, your host, and this is for the weekend beginning Friday, October 9th, 2020. And if John Lennon was alive, today he'd be turning 80 years old. So, for those of you who were little kids or older when the Beatles debuted on the Ed Sullivan Show back in February of 1964, you probably are feeling a little bit older today, like I am. So I was only 5 years old when that happened, so I'm like, but I remember because my dad brought me in the room and says, "Look at this." I'm like, "Wow, what is it? It looks cool." "No, it's not cool. Their hair's too long." I mean, their hair wasn't long by today's standards at all, but back then everybody was like all militarized, Anyhow, looking at the sky today, we would see the moon in the constellation of Gemini. And the part of Gemini that the moon is in is a lunar mansion known as Punavarsu. So Punavarsu, and I mean this is the sidereal zodiac part of this forecast, okay? So for you Western astrologers, they're like, "The moon's in Cancer today, I'm melting. I'm like, okay, keep melting. If you were to take your telescope and look in the constellation of Cancer, that's, you wouldn't find the moon there. But if you looked in the constellation of Gemini, you'd find it in Punavarsu. And Punavarsu is ruled by Jupiter. But it's 3/4 in the sign of Gemini, 1/4 within the constellation of Cancer. So we're talking constellations here. Western astrology is based on seasons, and that's what most of this horoscope is about. But I like to give the planets credit for where they actually are, which very few Western astrologers have the cojones to admit. I'm all cojones today, folks. Anyhow, so in the sidereal zodiac, we would still have the sun in Virgo, but and then on Saturday the 16th of October, it goes into actual constellation of Libra, which is different from the seasonal acknowledgement of Libra time, which is what it is right now. Okay, so we'll put that together. But let's talk about Punavarsu lunar mansion, because the lunar mansions, those 27 subsigns, are a lot older than these 12 signs of the zodiac. Punavarsu is, because in the goddess days they followed the moon, and Punavarsu is not only ruled by Jupiter, but its ruling deity is a deities, and they're a feminine aspect of God, a feminine aspect, and they bring really good qualities. And Punavarsu is about having a nice house but wanting to travel. And its symbol is a quivers and an arrow that hold an arrow, or an arrow itself. And so a lot of this particular nakshatra, this part of the sky, is about making a goal for yourself and enjoying recreation, but also enjoying that nice feeling of being in a nice home. All in all, that's Punavarsu. Okay, so as far as other planets in the sky go, let's see, what do we got today? Well, the north, I want to say this too, is that in the sidereal zodiac, the nodal axis changed from the Gemini Sagittarius thing, which it still is in the tropical zodiac, but to Scorpio and Taurus. So North Node in Taurus, Rahu, Ketu in Scorpio. And Ketu in Scorpio is powerful because that's part of Ketu's rulership is Scorpio. So we're going to see some powerful karma, powerful subconscious, powerful intuition, powerful spirituality over the next year and a half, and something worth looking at. Otherwise, we'll go to Western Zodiac. What do we got here? Well, we've got North Node in Gemini, Mercury in Scorpio, Venus in Virgo, debilitated, Mars in Aries, retrograde, Jupiter and Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn, Uranus in Taurus, Neptune in Pisces, and Chiron in Aries. So with that said, let us begin with this wonderful horoscope. So greetings Aries, welcome to your horoscope. Now, Mars in the first house would make you impulsive. Now, this is the thing about when Mars is retrograde. we look within. Mars is stationed. Mars is closer to the Earth right now. Okay, can you dig it? And that means the things that cause aggression, the things that want us to fix the Earth, defend the Earth, because Mars is Lord of the Earth. You know, it deals with ecology to some extent. And we wanted its cleanup time, and then any kind of injustice. You know, there's a lot of extremism. Now, I live in a country where the politics over the last 40 years of both the two major parties, which are kind of like the same, one's called Democrat, the other one's called Republican, and they both moved to the right after Ronald Reagan back in 1980. And they keep moving to the right. You know, even with Biden is probably way to the right of like Jimmy Carter, you know, who was considered a centrist back in 1976. So it's very interesting. So I just, you know, when you're like a frog slowly boiling in water, frogs are smart. They don't just stay there. They get out. But humans are dumb. They just stay there and die. So Aries, you know, don't just stay there and die. All right? Do things to help bring people together. Getting rid of evil is also getting rid of dissension. Finding things we can agree upon versus being violent and giving in to anger, and even violent conversations. They're hurtful. They don't bring everyone to the table. They're oriented towards blaming. And we can never, you know, we all created this mess somehow as a mass conscious. You know, we all like to say, no, I never voted for, yeah, I never voted for him either. I get that. But somehow, socially, the powers that be, and those of us, we got along with it. We're not like French people putting on the yellow vest and, you know, doing it. You know, we're dumb Americans. Well, I know this is watched in France, and my French friends will say, oh no, there's some dumb French people too. So, you know, but right now it's about creating a healing space for yourself, looking within and saying, what can I do to myself to make myself more compassionate about my weaknesses? And that, from that, if I drive the evil out of myself, then I can help other people. It's kind of like that saying of Jesus, before you look at the speck in your brother's eye, get out the big beam that's in your own. Ooh, okay, that is it. Oui. All right. Well, Taurus, welcome to your horoscope. What can I say about this for you? I mean, Libra as a sun sign is Venus rule. But it's a masculine version of Venus because it's air. Air generates socializing, intellectual, and, you know, it's basically that Libra is the interior decorator of the zodiac. You know, we could say in some situations that we're looking now towards our interpersonal relationships. We're coming to a place of maturity, and you're a sweet talker with Mercury, even if it is retrograde in the 7th house. So it's like you're making contracts, but because it is retrograde, you have to realize that anything that you make right now, it could go a number of different ways. And so you just have to be patient, you know. Don't fear. Just stay with the original thought, especially the one that happened a couple weeks ago or a few weeks ago. That original thought versus what, you know, you've been having to monkey around with the last week. And Venus is debilitated in Virgo, but because it's in your 5th house, you're actually going through this creative place where you've got some really good ideas, and if you have a daughter or children, this could help with that relationship. You want to hang out with more spiritually minded people. You want to take trips to ashrams and magic sites of nature that have spiritual power, like Mount Shasta, Bald Rock, things like that. Okay. Greetings, Gemini. Welcome to your horoscope. So, in the tropical zodiac, North Node's Rahu's in your first house. It's in that Mrigashira. Well, it's right there on top of old President Trump's sun sign. I mean, it's like, no wonder, right? Yeah, no wonder. You get your hands on a Corona, it'll never let go. It's a combination of two advertisements. In your case, we're in the Mercury retrograde, but Mercury is in its most in Scorpio in the 6th house. So the 6th house is a little bit like Virgo. And so in Virgo, if Mercury's in Virgo, it would be like completely exalted. But it's more like do research, do things to help make yourself healthier. The biggest travesty, I'd say, of the pandemic is that they don't emphasize getting your immune system strong enough. And it's all wash hands and masks. If your immune system is thrashed, you can wash your hands and mask all you want, and a little bugaboo can get you. It might have been there, years ago before it does. So, vitamin C, vitamin D3, zinc, turmeric, lemon juice. I've heard a lot of them, apple cider vinegar, and these things couldn't hurt. Okay? I'm not a doctor. And this is not medical advice. That's my disclaimer. Go for it, Gemini. And yeah, relationships are tough right now. I would say this is not necessarily the easiest phase of your existence, but it's not the hardest either. Because you're kind of in your heart, you're kind of digging this. All right. Greetings, Cancer. Welcome to your horoscope. So, moon's in your sign today. Woohoo! Moon in Cancer. It's fertile moon. This is a good moon because it's a waning moon for underground crops like garlic and beets and carrots. All your root crops do really well being planted today with that. So that's my little Cancer gardener homemaker thing. Your key phrases: I feel. It's emotions. Libra time, it puts you in the 4th house. That is like a Cancer house. I mean, it is about home and mother and family and heritage and what have you in that place. It's also about fixed assets too. So if you have financial decisions, you're going to sell your house, a car, you're moving, there's some things to consider right now. Now Mercury in, albeit retrograde, in Scorpio, this helps you have a more creative mindset. You're having fun with your words. You're not taking anything too seriously. You're going with it. Mars retrograde. Over in your midheaven, it's like you have an interesting career life right now, and so there's some really serious stuff that you're working on, and you appear to be a pretty good leader at this point. Imagine that. Moon and all. So, and relationship wise, you're ready to spread some bliss. You're ready to change the way things are, work on loosening up the limitations, and to create boundaries that are happy boundaries, and make the change be a good change. Okay. Well, greetings, Leo, and welcome to your horoscope. There was a time I could text my Leo friend and they wouldn't trip out. But no, everyone processes things differently. Is that bad to say that? Yeah. Okay. So we've got ourselves, the moon's going to be in Leo later on this weekend, right? Yeah. Happens Saturday night, 5:24 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. So Sunday will be a Leo moon. Monday will be a Leo moon until way late at night. So it'll be very Leo on Monday. So those are your power days. That's something to keep in your heart, in your mind. Think about. Libra time is 3rd house for you. Sort of debilitated sun. Because, the tropical zodiac isn't based on where constellations are. It's based on the seasons. Yeah. And so when they invented astrology back in 250 AD, the Greeks met the Arab traders from India. They're like, well, yeah, we got this and this. And they were kind of on the same page at that point, because on that time, on the 21st of March, it was 0 degrees Aries. Now, on the 21st of March, it's 6 degrees Pisces by constellation. But the tropics, Western astrologers kept the seasons and the sun as the utmost, as the guide. And in sidereal Vedic astrology, we make the rising sign and the moon as the guide, more so. And most experienced Western tropical astrologers I know, after they practice a while, they make the rising sun and the moon more of their guide. I know, you can't make this stuff up, but this is what I've observed. And I've been in this game now for 38 years, so it's embarrassing. I know. I should know more by now. I get it. Got to watch your health, Leo. I mean, that's the thing I'd say right now. And you're ready for an adventure. You're ready to do something good. In fact, as you learn about yoga, martial arts, spiritual healing, or whatever, you're gonna do better. I mean, the workplace is a little weird. It's more artificial intelligence and electronics oriented, and so there's kind of this aloof disconnect that happens, or there's excitement that, this wonderful innovation. Some people really get off on this type of thing. Working on having a better social life. I would lay low until Saturday night. Right, so greetings, Virgo. Now, if there's one person that Venus and Virgo works for, that would be Virgo. And, yeah, it's true. And so I just want you to feel all your beauty, all your creativity, all your divine intelligence, and your love for your children, especially if you have daughters. Venus in the 5th house is going to, the 1st house is going to help you, and it's going to attract people to you. Yeah. And Sun's in the 2nd house, so this is kind of a time of year where you make money, and you deal with resources. And it's also a time where you have to work on your teeth, maybe, or neck injury, different things like that come into play more. We got Mercury over there in Scorpio right now. That's the 3rd house. So you might be dealing with some injury in your hands or wrist or something, because that's a body part that Mercury deals with. But Mercury in the 3rd house like that is a really good place. Your communication should be good. And so even though Mercury's retrograde in Scorpio, it's retrograde in your 3rd house. You're getting some deeper wisdom right now, Virgo. And we want to go with that deeper wisdom. Mars in the 8th house is kind of like, it's lusty, but it's also like, no, I shouldn't do it. I shouldn't go there, Uranus in the 9th house, it's like, I am excited about this new information I'm learning. And then the Pluto, Jupiter, Saturn thing over there in the 5th house, it's like you're ready to create. And you've got some great creative energy right now. And everyone can see it. Okay, now we go to Libra. Greetings, Libra. Welcome to your horoscope. Happy birthday. If you're a Libra having a birthday this week, I want to give you some birthday props. Birthday shouts. Who can I think of right off the top of my head having a birthday this weekend? I mean, some of them are gone. I know my friend Josiah is having a birthday. I believe he's turning 52 on the 13th of October. And I know there's others that are within range of having a birthday this week. And it'll probably all come to mind as I go to the next sign. So Venus is in your 12th house, pleasures of the bed, being at peace with your own personal karma. And, occasionally it's a woman that will use deception and manipulation to get what they want out of you. That's the worst. Sometimes that happens. You know, it's kind of like the other side of like Mars in the 12th, which is secret enemies, or a man that doesn't have your best interests, you know. So there's a Venus. But you've got, you know, Mars is in your 7th house. You're trying to be diplomatic. You're manifesting kind of relationship you want, I imagine, especially if you're a female Libra. Okay. Let me move on over to Scorpio. Yeah. Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to your horoscope. Okay, so Mercury's in your 1st house. So Scorpio, you got a lot of ideas right now. Even though Mercury's retrograde, this Mercury is responding to some deep truths, you know. So Mercury in Scorpio is about the deeper truths. It's not that surfacey stuff. That's all nice and polite. It's like, wow, there's some deep, dark stuff here. Deep, dark stuff we can't talk about. Or, you know, I guess those are QAnon followers would say, it's the cabal. You know, I mean, I'm not sure about any of it, you know. The FBI says they're a terrorist organization, so I'm like, wasn't like the FBI involved with the Klan, though, doing terrorist attacks before at one time? So I don't know who's good anymore. I don't really know. I mean, and if you do, who's good, who's bad, you just let me know. Checks and balances, folks. Checks and balances. Okay, so Scorpio, you know, you got the Pluto, Jupiter, Saturn thing in the 3rd house, poetry, songwriting, painting, do your art thing right now as much as you can, you know, but also lay low. Just stay in your own little field, because this is a house of loss, the 12th house where the sun is at right now. But, you know, you have fun when you do socialize a little, flirting, your love is coming your way. And so I would not worry, Scorpio. Love is coming your way. Get yourself fit, get yourself in shape, make it happen. All right. Greetings, Sagittarius. Welcome to your horoscope. So, I mean, so Jupiter's in your 2nd house. You know, that can bring money. Jupiter's there with Saturn. Saturn can help with money too sometimes. It's just like, don't expect it to come quick. Saturn's all about the slow money. All right? So it's just like, long term. Pluto's about transformation. So part of this is about learning to change your mind about how you look at money, how you look at finances. There's got to be some kind of change here. Mars is in the 5th house, so you're ready to have a rowdy good time. Some ruckus, you know. It's like if you have boys, you know, and they're your kids and they want to wrestle, you know, you wrestle with your boys, you know. It's like, that's a good Mars in the 5th house thing. Uranus in the 6th, I mean, it's like there might be some health issues that kind of surprise you and stuff. Just take it with a grain of salt. Work on it patiently. You're going to get better. Libra time's about your social life. So, you know, connect with friends. There's people, especially older friends, that can help you. And your work is looking good with Venus in your midheaven right now. I think you got this. All right. Greetings, Capricorn, and welcome to your horoscope. So, I mean, Pluto, Jupiter, Saturn, all in the 1st house. It's like, move slow, but move with divine intention, okay? That you want things to get better for everybody. And this moon tonight, Friday night, it's kind of romantic for you. And most of Saturday, so you'll be in this kind of sweeter mood, attracting people. There may be some, you know, like you might want to sell a vehicle or something with Mars moving through the 4th house. I'm not really sure. You know, a lot of times people get restless. They want to move. Mercury's over there in the 11th house, so you're getting a lot of communication from friends, maybe older siblings. And with Venus over there in Virgo in the 9th house, you know, it could be one of those pandemic long-distance love affairs. They don't know us. We don't know them. We don't know their friends. They don't know our friends. We can keep this a secret. The age of no secrets. Well, I think it's not an age of secrets. I think it's an age of distorted facts. Oh, well. Anyhow, Libra times puts you in the career, Capricorn. And so keep on working on those talents and skills. Now we go to Aquarius. Greetings, Aquarius. Welcome to your horoscope. Libra time's a good time. It's a ninth house. Ninth house is about your teachers. It's about your father. It's about long distance travel. It's about going out of state, maybe to a foreign country, learning foreign languages, appreciating foreign cultures, getting a master's degree or a PhD, expanding your knowledge in some area of expertise somehow. That's the ninth house. And it's a lucky house, and it's a good place. So this should be a happy, you should be in your happy space right now, very happy. You might be a little bit more lascivious, or your libido's a little more awakened with Venus transiting your 8th house. But, you know, the guy you wanted, this other girl snagged him, and you're kind of wondering, or the gal you wanted, some other guy, she wanted some other guy, and, you know, that kind of thing happens a lot with that. But it could be a romantic weekend for you this weekend, and you might find some satisfaction at last. If you want satisfaction, seek professional help. I mean, that's a quote somewhere. Okay, well, greetings, Pisces. Welcome to your horoscope. You know, Neptune is in your 1st house, so that's spiritual, aesthetic, agape love. That's where you want to go. And then Venus is opposing that right now in the 7th house. And boy, when we are in relationship, it's such a high, it's such a drug, that it's easy to lose track of our dharma, you know, our spiritual path that we want to be on. Always make that first, if you can. You know, just, you'll be happy about it. You know, it's like your boundaries and your values create value. And so you're not going to lose. That person rejects you because, you know, you need to go meditate and pray. They are not worth being with. All right? Because you're probably meditating and praying for them too. Guard yourself against being too aggressive with your speech. Friends are going through all kinds of exciting, weird things right now between the Pluto, Saturn, Jupiter thing in the 11th and the Uranus in the 3rd. Maybe write a story about it. That would work. And, you know, Moon today and tomorrow in the 5th house. Focus on the heart. And from there, share. And when I say share, I mean share this video, put it on your page, subscribe, tell a friend, have the notification thing, ring a bell, and I love your comments. Keep them coming. We're going to do this again next week. Planetary Persuader with KozMcKev. I'm out.